Another one of these. Are we really still doing this? Am I still doing this for you people? How much have I already put into it? How much time and effort have I put into just this show? It's already comical before you consider that almost nobody even watches it. Of those that do, how many see anything I put beneath the surface? I'm not asking how many understand it, just how many are even bothering to look, to try, even a little. God, I don't even think my co-host gets it. Actually, he doesn't. He lacks the humility to, as well as the capacity for recollection besides. Always has, and still does. God, it makes me sick, old friend. But don't get me wrong. As much as he sets off my gag reflex, it cannot compare to how vomit-inducing almost all the rest of you are. So, what say we stay general for now before getting into specifics? Don't worry, I've got an eternity till the sun comes up. The time I've been here has been an exercise in lowering expectations. Every time I try to say something meaningful, it goes over all of your heads. Every time I communicate an idea in any manner but laboriously spelling it out for you, it gets missed. No matter how much I lower myself, you people are still disgustingly incapable of any level of meaningful comprehension. And I am painfully aware of exactly how to appeal and cater to you bottom feeders. On the few occasions I've been able to swallow my pride enough to do it, I've proven that I can outmatch everybody in the pond community I've found myself in. But because I refuse to play the game of you wretched people and your awful system, I am left in the shadows. And why should I play your game? What would it really grant me? A bigger audience? Now just give me one good reason why I would want that. Even among the small audience I have accrued, while actively trying to avoid significant growth, I am already surrounded by people who utterly fail to understand my ideas, values, and philosophies, not to mention any of my artistry. Why would I want to lower the barrier to entry when the grime and filth is already spilling over? Even when I was playing the fool, even now I'm still... You people just don't get it at all. Before I came here, back when I was out in the real world, I spent so many years playing their game, trying to prove to them all that I was oh so clever and capable by their standards. I succeeded, Gods, I was good at their game back then. But as time went on, I realized that game, that world, I didn't like playing it, and there wasn't anything in that world that I actually wanted. I had simply tricked myself into thinking that that was all there was. I had tricked myself into thinking I was one of you. But after all that time trying to prove myself to them, I saw that it had been the biggest mistake I'd ever made. I saw things that made me realize all of my life's work had been for nothing. And it brought a grin to my face. So now, after I've sabotaged it all, torn down all I had spent that life building, now that everything is collapsing around me, a few more hooks left to rip out, and I might finally be free of that world's blinding light. I have spent a time in every grid space of your political compasses, have had the humility at each point to recognize the flaws and shift, and have come to find each and every one wanting. Of every food I have tasted, not one has been good enough to sum to a positive experience against the weight of how disgusting the very process of eating is. There is no lust I have felt that has come close to overcoming my revulsion towards the human form. Of every person that I have met or even seen in this world, there has only been one who has not failed to meet my hopes, no matter how low I try to bring them. And that's the problem. I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at any of you at all. I'm just disappointed. Where do I start with the ways the denizens of this rock are so very disappointing? How about from the bottom? My detractors. There's the commenters, lowest of the low. The very best they've ever done in their pathetic attempts at criticism are failures to understand my points, but most trip on the first hurdle of having any sort of fundamental understanding on the way writing, media, or even just the world in general works. Then there are those who have criticized my more artistic endeavors. There are those that viewed my largest work so far released and saw nothing but random interchangeable clips of a guy being wacky. Now, I'll admit, that does get to me a bit. Don't misunderstand. I know that video, that movie, has flaws. I am intimately familiar with every frame of it, and I know and understand every error, small and large, minor and fundamental. What gets to me is how you miss all of them, and while you're at it, miss so much of what's there beneath the surface, only to levy the lack of what you fail to perceive as your argument. But that's just a failure to pick up on the intent behind the arrangement and ordering of scenes. What got to me far more was when I said that I was making the video just for me, and you took that at face value. Because I thought I made it very clear that I was playing the fool. The movie was for me, and it was for everybody who is as much of a brilliant fool as the one I was playing. It was even for anybody with enough empathy to understand such fools. But hey, at least you bothered to watch it all the way through. That's more than I can say for some. But now, on to my friends. Time to get to... you know what? Fuck this. I'm not fucking doing this. Fuck the stupid narrative. Fuck the plan. Fuck track 8. I'm not gonna sit here and shit on the only fucking people I haven't pushed out of my life. What kind of gross, stupid fucking idea even is that anyway? I refuse to force myself to write about why my damn friends can't live up to my fucking ridiculous, insane standards. Of course they can't. I'm a fucking crazy person. Why the fuck should my standards mean anything to anybody? Of course they don't fucking get it. It is utter insanity. The problem isn't that they're unambitious or cowardly or lacking in artistic dedication. The problem is that I am a psychopath with ambition to swallow the sun, a fucked sense of values that leaves me seeing anything worth fearing as a joke, and so much dedication I tore down my fucking life for this bullshit. I planned this thing over a year ago. This stupid spurgy rant at the world and my enemies and the friends I haven't left behind yet, but I don't hate any of you people. What I hate is this stupid narrative that's making me do horrible, sociopathic, idiotic nonsense like this. And for what? Why pour my heart out in a series nobody even watches? A series so tied up in its own mechanical abstractions, I can't even name the things or people I'm talking about. I was going to complain about respect, about no matter how many times I prove myself, no matter how many times I explain myself, and no matter how many times I think you people are finally beginning to get it, you always seem to forget. I was going to complain that every time I prove that I was right all along, you never notice a pattern. I was going to complain that no matter how much I show you, you're all so clueless. But why the hell should you respect an inhuman monster? Why should you believe the ramblings of a fool claiming to be always right? Why should you understand? How could you understand a broken thing like me? I was going to try to explain it again, but why bother? It's all pointless, it's all stupid. I have been broken for over 6 years now. I think I ran out of humanity over 4 years ago. All that's left now is an insectoid clockwork monster, walking his path and shedding his skin. Ad aeternum, march and metamorphosis in a ceaseless looping cycle. All hail to the mad clockwork king with his firefly court and his burning crown. It's all so discordant. Let's just get this toil over with, so I can move on to the next one. What is a pathetic, wretched creature to do when it is no longer capable of even shedding tears? It thanks God for the rain.